Hello, my name's Fluffy the Destroyer, and welcome to my channel. It seems like Sims 2 is free, and until now, I think it's like over for now, but it was free, let's say. But the problem is right now why it's returning to news, and I didn't talk about it because I didn't feel like it. I mean, it was everywhere on the internet, so no need to tell about it. The problem here is that it contains securerom, the 7th version of securerom. What's the problem with this? Here's the thing. If you don't know what it is, I'll tell you. securerom is a copy protection program that uses DPM. In other words, it's data positioning measurement. What it actually does is that during the development process of the CD, of the physical drive that is, the manufacturer or the company creates the drive. Like, it creates the CD, it puts the game on it, and it measures where all the data is. So the clones are the exact copy of the original. If it doesn't, like I would do a copy of the original with, I don't know, Nero or Alcohol 120% or any other one, cloning, DVD, whatever, most of the time it's not going to work. You do need some knowledge in order to do this. Like, I know that it exists. You can go on torrent sites and the cracks in the game are there. It includes the game itself plus the crack, which bypasses the securerom. That is illegal, but I'm not here to talk about it. I honestly don't care if it's illegal or not. If you use it like legally or illegally, I don't really care. I'm just here to inform you that it does contain it. Does it do something? No, not at all. It doesn't contact the NSA. It doesn't contact the FBI, so you're not going to receive a visit, well, not from them anyways. The only problem that I found out by the link, because I didn't check it myself, it sounds like that if you uninstall the game, it's going to leave traces of the securerom software on your system. Well, not the software, but some registry keys and probably some other files as well. There are ways to remove it, which I will include in my link, in my description, including the software called TrashReg, which deletes the whole thing, the securerom. And there's a forum link as well on, let's see here, on Reclaim Your Game. That's where I found out the article is. And what they say exactly on the website is that if you use Protection ID, which is a tool that you can use to find out what kind of protection is on a CD, one of the securerom files that is really popular is called pol.dll. It might not be there, but most of the time it is there. Just well, in any case, just launch your Protection ID program and go with the game's executable, and you'll find in the game, well, not in the game, but in the application, that it uses securerom. That will be in the description link as well. I find that program really awesome. But what's all the fuss with the securerom, with the DRM and all? It does create problems. It is not perfect at all. For example, one of them is it doesn't detect the disk drive. If you have securerom, like you install Sims 2, for example, that may happen. I don't think it will, but it may. Which means you put the, or any game, original game by the way, on top of my head, I think GTA 4 did contain. I might be wrong, but there are some games that contains securerom. If it does, you put it in the drive, it won't recognize your drive. That's because of securerom. The second of them is if you use disk drive emulators or debugging software like Daemon Tools or Nero virtual CDs or disk drives or whatever, if you configure those on your system, well, you might not be able to launch your program. Or there's another one here that securerom does. It doesn't detect your drive at all. Any optical drives, it doesn't detect it. Very possible. It did happen to me once. I just can't remember the game, but I know it did. And one of the problems that I know, for example, that may create, just be warned here, I live in Canada, I can make legal copies of my games, like original content of the games. What is illegal is if I use them If I give it to my friends, for example, which that is illegal, but I can keep copies of myself, like backup storage copies. But then again, it might change in a couple of years or so because I know the government is working on it right now. But for example, one little anecdote here. Well, at that time, I did bought Diablo 2 CD, and at that time it was $60. That was pretty high. No, for me it was, I mean. And at one point or at one moment, a couple of months after I played the game, the CD-ROM broke. Well, not the CD-ROM, but the CD itself, the Diablo 2 CD, it broke inside the drive. So, number one, my CD-ROM was broken because there were all bits of the CDs inside, and my CD was completely busted. So not only I had to spend cash for for a new CD-ROM drive because it broke it totally, I had to buy the game again. I was pissed and furious. So that started my time with, hey, why don't I copy original games? Because I don't trust them anymore. No, really, I didn't trust them anymore, and I always found, like, I tried to find a way to copy a game so I could play with the copy instead. I mean, it's cheaper for me to break like a copied CD than the original one. It did work most of the time, but not all. So that for me was my little story of securerom. I really hated that damn thing, and there were other types of protections that uses some, well, like there are some protections that that I find really annoying. You buy the CD with your own cash, and the thing is, you got to put the CD in order to play the game. Everything is copied on your hard drive, but you have to put the CD-ROM in. I don't get it. I find that really, really annoying. And that's when I started to go on Steam and GOG, and I don't even use CD-ROMs today. I really don't, or, well, except for installing Windows, for example. But besides that, I don't really care about CDs anymore. I just despise them. Really, I do. Well, there are some other controversies. Like the biggest one that I can find here is Spore. For example, this is one. Well, if you go on the Wikipedia, that's it's going to tell you. And I find that's, well, not surprising, but I would say surprising and not surprising at the same time. I knew that Spore was like a really popular game that was pirated. The thing that was surprising, I didn't know that was on the top 10 list in 2008 of the things that got pirated, like at that time. 1.7 million copies on Torrent Freaks. That is not surprising. Due to the fact that it did contain DRM, and it did have some... I don't think that game did require it, but I know that you have to authenticate it online. But at first, I think that was like one of the reasons that got pirated the most. It's because you have to authenticate it every 10 days. I think that pushed people to just to go on torrents instead of buying it legally. I think that was the decision that said to people, hey, listen, I'm not gonna let the computer call a company 10 days on a server activated 10 days. It's just impossible. It's really ridiculous. Mass Effect and Bioshock, same thing. You can activate it online, but at one point it did reactivate every 10 days, which was really ridiculous. What if you didn't have internet access? What if it didn't work? I don't know. It could be anything. You wouldn't be able to play your game. The game that you bought, by the way, it gives you the right to play. You don't own the game at all, but it gives you the right to play. This is really ridiculous. My point in all of this with this news here, well, I don't think I'm gonna be like a major difference here in anyone's life or any company's life. Like, why would they listen to me anyway? But DRM should die. I mean, if a company, well, not a company, but if people pirates the software or the game a lot, and as far as I know, the better and the stronger the copy protection, the more popular it will be on torrent sites. As far as I can tell, that's what's happening right now. So don't use it. Trust your customers. We're spending our cash here. We are spending our time and our, well, to gain cash, and as soon as we got the cash, we buy the game. This is supposed to be an investment. It's not supposed to be a risk. Anyway, my name is Fluffy the Destroyer. Thank you for watching my video. If you did like it, click on subscribe, rate, and comment. Even if it's negative, I'm going to look at it constructively. Just don't be a bitch. See ya.